Is Orange Palpatine trying to interfere in upcoming elections? I don't know. Also, he sent out a warning last night in the filibuster. Will the Republicans obey? Let's talk about it more next on the Daily Rewind. What's going on, my beautiful people? What's going on? Welcome to the Daily Rewind with me, your boy HB. I hope you guys having a good Friday. Before I start, I want to send my prayers out to anyone that's being affected by this government shutdown, whether it's, people that's losing out on pay during this time, or people that's on the edge of not receiving their SNAP benefits. So I'm praying for you guys that everything works out with the SNAP benefits, that it pushed through tomorrow, and I pray that this government shutdown comes to end so people can get their money. Because there's nothing like working for free. That's some bullshit. So I'm praying for you guys. So let's get into it. Cause we got a stacked up show for tonight. So starting with the first one, according to this Associate Press article that I came across, Orange Palpatine ramps up involvement in this year's election and a possible preview of midterms pressure. After months of extraordinary steps to ensure his party maintains control of the U.S. House of Representatives in next year's midterms, President Orange Palpatine is turning his sight towards the voting process in Tuesday's elections. That pivot is raising alarms among Democrats and others who warn that he may be testing strategies his administration could use to interfere in elections in 2026 and beyond. Late last week, Orange Palpatine's Department of Justice announced it was sending election monitors to observe voting in one county in New Jersey, which features a race for governor that Republican Orange Palpatine has deeply invested in, and to five counties in California, where Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom is pushing the ballot measures to counter the president's own effort to rejigger the congressional map to elect more Republicans. That announcement was followed with a preemptive attack by Orange Palpatine on the legitimacy of California's election. The post on his own social media platform echoed the baseless allegations he made about the 2020 presidential election before he and his allies tried to overturn his loss in a campaign that culminated in the January 6, 2021 attacks on the U.S. Capitol. Quote, watch how totally dishonest the California prop vote is. Orange Palpatine wrote last weekend on Truth Social, referring to Proposition 50, the lone issue on the state's special election ballot. Quote, millions of ballots being shipped, end quote. Bruh. The combination has prompt responses from several prominent Democrats who were already bracing for Orange Palpatine to use his presidential power to tilt next year's midterm to his side. Quote, it's a bridge they are trying to build. It's a bridge they are trying to build the scaffolding for all across this country in next November's election, end quote, Newsom said in the video, in which he also predicted the administration would send mass immigration agents to polling stations next week. People get on my nerves. During early voting so far, there has been no indication that troops or federal officers have shown up to near polling sites or ballot drop boxes in any state. Despite the warning from some Democrats, millions of voters already have cast ballots through early in person or mail voting, a process that has produced no significant problems. Let's call it what it is. This is, if that happens, it would be a imit- he's trying to intimidate people. That's what he's trying to do. And let's call it what it is. Like, let's think about it. If you somebody of Latin descent trying to cast a vote um in the election, you may be thinking, you know what? Maybe I need to stay my home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to put up with this bullshit. You might you might not even want to go through the possibility of being harassed and going through all that foolishness. So you might say, you know what, I'm just gonna sit this out. And that's what he's hoping if this occur. So hopefully that don't occur. And if it does occur, hopefully people, don't pay him no attention, don't engage, do what you got to do, and vote. Because he's trying to stir. He putting this out to see how far he can get. So when next year comes for the midterm, he could go full blast with it. So hopefully, um, none of that don't phase anybody that's standing in line that's trying to cast their vote next week. On to the next topic. Now, this one, I was kind of like, oh, let's see if the members of the Sith, going to bow to the Orange Palpatine. So I came across this article. Quote, Dems failed to scrap filibuster under Biden. Now Orange Palpatine wants nuclear option to end shutdown. Quote, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. End quote. Wrote progressive journalist Ma- um, Mahdi Hassan. I'm sorry, I got brain freeze. Who repeatedly urged Senate Democrats to end the filibuster during Joe Biden's presidency. I remember he saying that too. The U.S. President Orange Palpatine late Thursday urged Senate Republicans to scrap the legislative filibuster to end the prolonged government shutdown without Democratic support. The kind of scenario progressives warn about when imploring Democrats to eliminate the 60 vote threshold during former President Joe Biden's term. In an all cap post on social media, Orange Palpatine wrote that, quote, the choice is clear. Initiate the nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster and make America great again, end quote. Orange Palpatine noted Democrats failed to terminate the filibuster when they controlled Congress under Biden, pointing specifically to central roles that Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, both of whom have since left office, and the Democratic Party play in obstructing filibuster reform. Quote, just a short while ago, the Democrats, while in power, fought for 3 years to do this, but were unable to pull it off because Senators Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kristen Sinema of Arizona. Never had the Democrats fought so hard to do something because they knew the tremendous strength that terminated the filibuster would give them, Orange Palpatine wrote. Also, he said, quote, now I want to do it in order to take advantage of the Democrats, end quote. With the filibuster in that, 60 votes are required to pass most legislation in the Senate. Republicans currently hold 53 Senate seats. Progressives warned repeatedly during Biden's presidency that Republicans wouldn't hesitate to scrap the filibuster in the future should the 60 vote thresholds become a severe hindrance to their agenda. Abolishing the legislative filibuster to end the shutdown would clear the way for other Republican policies proposal to get through the Senate with just a simple majority. Quote, I spent the entire President Biden presidency wanting idiotic established Senate Dems and Biden who opposed getting rid of the filibuster that Trump and the GOP will come back to power and do it themselves. End quote. Journalist Mahdi Hassan wrote Thursday. Mahid Hassan wrote Thursday in response to the president's demand. Quote, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Adam Jentelson, a former chief of staff for Senator John Fetterman, and the vocal advocates of ending the filibuster, note that it's pretty easy to initiate the nuclear option on the filibuster because, despite everything, the Senate is the majority rule institution per the founders' design. The rule that overrides all other rules is that a majority of senators can vote at any time to change the rule, including getting rid of the filibuster, which the founders abhorred by. Anyway, Jensen wrote Thursday. They could do it tomorrow, no preparation needed. Trump's demand comes as millions of people across the U.S. are set to lose federal nutrients assistance due to the shutdown, and the administration and legal refusal to tap emergency funds to pay out the benefits. Millions of Americans are also facing the prospect of skyrocketing health insurance premium as Orange Palpatine and congressional Republicans decline to support extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies that are set to expire at the end of the year. Senator Majority Leader John Thune said early this month that he would oppose scrapping the filibuster to end the shutdown, but he could change his position amid Orange Palpatine pressure campaign. One progressive, Representative Rokana of California, has called for the filibuster carve out that will also allow senators to keep the government open with a simple majority. Quote, I've been consistent on this. End quote. Connor said in an interview in early October, quote, I said this when Biden was president, and I'm going to say it when Orange Palpatine, no, and I'm going to say it when Orange Palpatine's president, end quote. Look here. Do I think they're going to do it? Well, since this been dropped, or today, the legacy media has been going on Capitol Hill, asking Republicans what they're going to do. And for the most part, the Republicans pretty much has been standing 10 toes down and say, no, we're not doing it. Which shocked me. But at the end of the day, things could change. But I honestly, deep down inside, I believe that they're not going to get rid of it. And here's why. Because because if they get rid of it, granted, right now they got control of everything. I mean, they could go through and implement the entire agenda if they wanted to, with just a simple majority in the Senate. But they also understand that we're not gonna always be in the majority. We're not gonna always have the keys to the car. And they know once the Democrats get back in power, and they have the House, and they have the presidency, and if they have the Senate, they are gonna run amok. I mean, they gonna run amok, rightfully so, because I would. I mean, if why wouldn't you? I mean, you got the keys to the car, and you could only pass your agenda with a simple majority. Why wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? Especially if they do it too. Why wouldn't you? You'll be a fool if you don't. So I don't think this is going anyway. Senator Thune said he's not with it. Several Republicans in the Senate said it's a hard no for them. Even Mike Johnson, who's not in the Senate, say they shouldn't do it. I don't think this is going to go anywhere because they know they won't be in the majority forever. Now, if they knew they was in the majority forever, then yeah, they probably got rid of the filibuster. I know they would in a heartbeat. I go hope you guys have a good day. Sorry for my mix up in some of my reading. Just bear with your boy. I'm still new to this. I'm still trying to get my feel. With that being said, I would love for you to have you over here on the Daily Rewind. I would love to have you on my team. I appreciate you if you like and subscribe and share this video. Come be a part of the Daily Rewind. You guys have a good weekend. Get you some liquor. Get up. Take the kids out. Hopefully you got the kids out going trick or treating. Be safe out there. Um, just sit back, chill, and relax and enjoy your weekend. And the people again and again to the people who are affected by the shutdown, my heart goes out to you. You guys have a good weekend. Peace.